It was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be like a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have
Corrupt
sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
The story that I'm about to tell you happened to me. It happened to me about 1 month ago. This is a story that could have happened to any woman living in South Africa at the moment. A woman younger than me, a woman older than me, who is just basically going on about their ordinary life and trying to make a living, trying to live, trying to push their hustle, you know, just living. So I met Bongosi, whom I dated for almost 2 years or 2 and a bit. I met him, I was going to the Open Book Festival at the Fugard Theatre. And I met this guy, and he, you know, I was like rushing to the Open Book Festival because I was going to be late. And I was like walking because town during the day becomes so crazy, and I'm you know, just like rushing. And then he had driven past, coming out of Parliament towards the Fugard Theatre, and he saw me like in a rush, like you know, going towards the Fugard Theatre. And he stopped and he said, hey Sisi, I can see that you're in a rush. Can I offer you a lift? Where are you going? And so I said, I'm going to the Fugard. No, but listen, look, I'm almost there. He was like, no, it looks like you're still going fast. No, really, seriously, I'd offer you the lift. And so so I got in the car and he dropped me off at the, you know, at the Fugard. At the time, I was on the program for participating in the Open Book Festival, and so I had programs with me. So I gave him one of the programs because he asked, "So what are you doing there?" And I said, "Look, I'm participating in the literary festival, and you know, it's open to public. You know, you can come. It's book launches and etc. etc." And then he said, "Okay, fine. How about I come to your sessions?" And I was like, "Okay, well, that's cool." And then he was like, so what do I do? And then we exchanged numbers and we spoke on, you know, and then we spoke because the festival was about 3 days and this was day 1 of the festival. And so he took my numbers and he was interested in the festival, and he came through, he attended a few sessions, loved it. It was all this like nice, oh, what a nice guy, you know. And then after the festival, we kind of got acquainted and, you know, started going to other, you know, places that have books and things like that. And so we started going to like, you know, book launches together, poetry sessions, theater, you know, theater vibes, everything, you know. And I felt so relaxed around him because he has this calm around him. You know, he has this, he's like such a calm person that I felt that, you know, I kind of liked this guy. You know, I kind of liked the fact that I'm extroverted and he's kind of like introverted and is really cool and is, you know, he's the guy who's always getting the drink, opening the door, you know, that whole thing, you know. And so you think, okay, fine, yeah, no, it can happen, this is good, you know, I think I'm gonna do this thing now, you know. And so the relationship began, and it came into the space in my life where I was really ready to commit to a relationship. And so it was great, you know. We started going out. And this is the kind of person that likes to drive out of Cape Town. I'm very lazy to drive. I drive because I have to. And so he was like a keeper. He's the guy opens the doors, who gets the drinks, takes you to dinner, who drives like outside of Cape Town and would go and have like a lunch in Hermanus and sleep in Stanford. So this is good, He would take videos of me, like pictures of me, And so we had like a very nice relationship. And during the relationship though, I would actually find him, so I would actually find him looking at my phone, and I thought that it's because he works for the Hawks, and it's something that he's so used into doing that he extracts information out of people. I really didn't think that he was literally spying on me when he would take my phone, and also because I had nothing to hide, so I wasn't worried about the fact that he was checking my phone. And so I became really, really uncomfortable about him touching my phone, because he would know things that I am talking about to people that are irrelevant to him. Like, for an example, if I'm having a conversation with my friend, he already knows about it. And I was like, but how does he know that? Because I didn't tell him. And then it actually just hit me that he's actually spying on me, like literally spying on me. But then why? The question is, why would he want to spy, And then eventually this happened, because now I needed to prove that he was actually doing this. And I would watch him around my phone. And he would, and he, like every time, if he has my phone on the hand and I'm coming back, he would immediately put it down, and then I knew that he was actually just looking and spying on all the conversations that I was having, because he would just know everything. And that kind of unsettled me a bit, And I thought, okay, what I need to do is to actually just confront him about it. And so I went, and I left him with in the middle of a meal. And I turned around deliberately, and he had my phone on the hand. So I was like, so what are you doing with my phone? I was like, oh no, I was just checking. I was like, what are you checking? Because now I'm upset, because why is he checking something on my phone? If he wants to find out something, why can't he say that? And so there was an argument around him touching my phone. And then he kind of got arrogant about it, and told me that, look, why wouldn't I check something on your phone? You're my girlfriend. Why can't I touch your phone? And then it was this whole argument about the phone, and I was like, okay, something is wrong here. Something is wrong. And then I thought to myself, okay, what? This is just a cell phone, Okay, so let us just both not have passwords in our phones. I can check your phone, you can check my phone. Little did I know that he was actually hacking into my WhatsApp and knowing basically exactly what I'm saying and to whom. And I wasn't sure of this, and I had a conversation with Untombi. Untombi works as an administrator for the foundation I ran, so she would come into the house every now and again. And Untombi was like, Prem, just check. If you are suspicious that this guy's doing, just check. And we checked, and we saw that he literally was having access to my WhatsApp. And then this went on, and then there were arguments around trust and things like that. And so now we had this big issue around trust, because it would take the conversation that I've had with someone else and send it to me and lie to me and say to me that someone sent that to him. And I was like, but why would someone send you our conversation with him, to you? Like, what does that have to do with anything? No, I don't like the way you talk to so-and-so. Why are you guys flirting? How long have you known each other? And it went on so badly that it actually went into him hacking into my Facebook account and looking at conversations that I've had with people, and to literally confronting me about relationships that I've had in the past because he saw the conversations, and he would confront me about it and would have these major fights about that. At some point, I thought, this is too much, because I went in through my Facebook and he had unfriended my ex-boyfriend without my knowledge. And this one evening, an ex-boyfriend of mine calls me like around 4. And I'm like, this is very strange. Why would he call me at 4? He doesn't even live in Cape Town. And I call back and I'm like, dude, you called me at 4 in the morning. What's going on? And then he said, I saw the disturbing message that you sent to me. What's going on? I'm like, but I didn't send you any message, And then he screen munched the conversation, and then he sent it to me. And in the conversation, he is basically insulting this guy, but he's using my Facebook account. So this guy is thinking that I'm saying all these things to him. Meanwhile, I didn't say shit. And I thought, okay, I have a bigger problem that I actually imagined. After the Facebook hacking, it was text messages that were sent to people, basically me insulting people, and so this this went on and on and on and on. And it's, at another time, I thought, okay, fine, this is a problem. So now I must have like a lock. I must lock my phone now, and I must constantly check if my WhatsApp is not plugged into another device, and I must constantly change my passwords. So there was a whole lot of administration around now this relationship, because this is a major problem. And so this one time I met the Franschhoek Literary Festival, and we had driven there together. And I was mingling with my colleagues and stuff, and suddenly that became a problem. Why are you leaving me on the side and talk to your colleagues, and nobody even acknowledges me? I'm like a nobody in the space. You like to be famous. Just because you're famous, now I must look like a nothing. And so I didn't know where this whole thing came from, And I was so pissed off at him at this stage. I was like, dude, I came here to work. And yes, these are famous people and you are not. How is that my problem? And so it gone. And on the way back, when we were driving back, he did the most strangest thing. He stopped in the middle of a very dark road and locked the car and said, why are you undermining me when you are around you people? And at this stage, I'm like, fuck you. You know what? Fuck you. I don't give a shit about what you think right now. You came into my world knowing exactly who I am, and I'm not going to shrink it just because you're here. And get the fuck out if you don't like this, just get the fuck out, And I could see in his face that there was like a rage building. And I opened the door, I got out of the car, and there were cars, there was a lot of traffic coming, and people just stopped because they could see. And at this stage, I am so afraid that he's going to stop, because we are now from Franschhoek, and we're coming into Cape Town, and that's quite long. So I thought, let me get back into the car, and as soon as I get back home, he must just, get the fuck out. So eventually, all these things that, came and built up into arguments that we would have. Into the arguments that we would have that would lead to very, hectic arguments, hectic and uncontrollable arguments. And then eventually we broke up. And then he left. And after several months after the breakup of him harassing me on the phone every day, stating that this relationship is not over, I can't now decide that this relationship is over. And he would threaten to expose the very compromising pictures that he has of me that he took and that I was not even aware of. And so he sent those pictures to my phone, and I thought, okay, if this goes like to public, it's going to be hectic. Okay, so I left it. I didn't do anything about it. Until in the recent history, I had a public event because it's a public thing. It's a book launch. He had come to the book launch, attended the book launch, and then I lingered on, afterwards with like a whole lot of other people. People came through, and so on. And during the time of the book launch, obviously I spoke to him publicly, because he was there, and I didn't even think for a second that it would end the way that it did end. So anyway, book launch over, I go to the car, I drive off, and everybody's driving off. So at this stage, I don't know what car he's driving because he doesn't even live in Cape Town anymore. So he doesn't drive the cars I know. So so I drive, go, I come home, and there's this car behind me as I drive in, and there's this, a very slow opening of the gate after hours. So I drive in, somebody else drives in, and I park in the visitor's bay because I'm lazy to go and park in my bay. And then the Corolla, the Toyota Corolla that he had hired, just stops next to me. So I don't know who this is, and then it's him. I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, no, we need to talk. And at this stage, he's not even aggressive. He's not even aggressive at all. And I'm like, what do we need to talk about? I mean, dude, come on. You can't do this. You can't just pitch up. You can't come here, And so it's like, no, but it's unfair the way things ended. We should start over again, and it's a whole thing. It begins he's begging me, and we had such a great thing and stuff like that. And for a moment, I thought, okay, fine, let's talk. What do you want to talk about? And no, things can't end this way. I want to come back to Cape Town. I want to fix our relationship, and so it goes on and on and on and on. And then I said, well, there's no relationship to be fixed. You've done everything to destroy that relationship. I don't trust you. I really don't trust you. And I could see there was a rage building and building and building, and it really, now I'm kind of, I'm scared, and I'm becoming hysterical because something's gonna give, something's gonna happen, and so my immediate thing is to go back into the car, and he flings the door opens, and he literally drags me as I'm trying to get away from him. And next thing I know, because I was wearing a white shirt and I was wearing shorts and I had braids here. Next thing I know, I'm bleeding on the the entire side is red, and I'm hysterical. I'm now screaming. And so I don't know who heard in the building, and this woman is coming down and saying, you need to get the hell out of here. So she takes me to her flat upstairs on the 4th floor, and several other people had called security because they can see something is wrong. And then she looks at my bag, and she's and then she's like, oh fuck, I need to see this. And she takes off my shirt, and she's like, oh babes, it's bad, it's horrible. And immediately she takes pictures, and I'm like this now. I'm kind of and then she's like, what's going on? And I can hardly speak, and security is out, and it's a whole big thing, and security comes. and they call for backup in the neighborhood watch, and it's like literally, 4 cars and this dramatic thing, and I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? The point of this thing is that I was assaulted in a very short time, and I didn't even know that it was gonna build to that extent, because I was talking to someone that I had known for more than 2 years. I was speaking to someone who had been such a wonderful person, but also like the disbelief, I think for me, was the fact that did he actually just do this? Because like even in the arguments that we had, before, it didn't become physical, Although I know for a fact that there was an enraged person in there, but I never thought that he could direct his rage towards me. So it's a story that we never imagined that we'd find ourselves in. But it's a story of every single person that ends up assaulted, worse, raped or killed. But it is a story that happens to women that don't even have opportunities to speak about them. And it's a story of every woman who will not have access to a hospital after they've been, assaulted. Because the first thing that I was given was a form even before I could make my statement at the police station. And I was like, surely you can take a statement without the J88 form. No, sissy, you need the J88 form in order for you to make the statement. So you can't open a case without having taken the J88 to the doctor. And once you have taken the J88 to the doctor, which you must pay with your own money, you must go and fetch the J88 and then take it back to the police station, and only then you can make a case. The case can be opened. So there's a running around that goes on. In fact, they took my statement after my 8th visit to the police station. It was the first time they said, no, you must come back. I went back. Now take the J88. Take this as your temporary case number. I go back with the J88 after having been treated by a doctor. Who told you that this is a temporary case number? I said, you said that to me. That's not my language. You said that to me. No, it's wrong. This is the correct case. No, but you know what we must do now? Let's go and take this guy and give him a warning and keep him here in the cell for maybe 3 hours. He would be warned. Hey, I said, but I'm not going anywhere. And I don't want this guy, warned. I want this guy to pay for the crime that he committed. He assaulted me. Okay, sissy, go around that corner. That police officer there is going to take your statement and you can open your case. So I sit, and this woman is saying, sissy, who told you to come here? She heard. It's that guy over there. Oh, is he not a police officer? And I said, he's a police officer. Is he not wearing uniform? I'm like, yeah, he's wearing uniform. Sissy, what's your point exactly? At this time, I'm so exhausted. I am so emotional. And I literally broke down, what the fuck is going on? So now no one's going to take the statement? So she doesn't take the statement. So the guy comes back and takes the statement. And then they're like, oh, okay, guess this is your case number. You've made your statement, now you can go home. Nothing happens. Nobody calls me, nothing. I called police station. I say so I asked, who's the station commander? No, he's not here. The best time to call him is between 9 and 1 because, you know, he's very busy. Fine, I'll call in the morning. Then I call in the morning. No, he's not there. He's gone on a short course. I'm like, so who handles things when he's not here? I said, so you're just gonna have to call in another 3 days. So I call in another 3 days, and then I get so I get somebody else, and they say, oh, fine, your investigative officer is so and so. You must come and see them. So I go and see this investigative officer. So I have this conversation with him, and then he tells me that he's going on leave for 3 weeks. I must come back when he's back on leave for 3 weeks. Long and short of it, I've only had that one conversation with a guy who has been gone for 3 weeks, and nothing has happened.
Yazi, you should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong. You should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong.